I filmed this intro 5 times, maybe 10, maybe 15. And I keep saying the same thing. Hi guys, I'm Tori. Welcome to my YouTube. If you're new here, so am I. This is my second video ever and I'm super pumped. I absolutely love filming the first one, even though it took so long because I'm literally an idiot with technology. I loved it and it was super fun and I love teaching you guys stuff. Today's video, I'm literally so awkward. I should shut up. Okay. In today's video, I'm gonna be doing a 10-minute dewy, guys. So starting off with a completely bare face. I don't have any moisturizer on because I wanted to do that on camera here. I'm gonna be using the Dermalogica Active Moist. I've been really liking this, as well as the Eminence Facial Recovery Oil. I have extremely dry skin, so I always put really heavy duty moisturizer on before I start my foundation, especially if I'm doing a glowy look. Okay, so starting with primer, I am going to be using this guy. This is by Hourglass. It's called the Primer Serum. It's honestly like liquid oil-ish stuff in a bottle. It's very goopy, but for dry skin like mine, my skin just loves it. So for my foundation, I'm going to be mixing Armani Luminous Silk in the shade 5, and I'm also going to put a little bit of MAC Strobe Cream on. I really like this stuff. I use it quite often. Sometimes I put it on as a primer. Sometimes I like to mix it in with my foundation. If I'm going for a very glowy look, I like to mix it in with my foundation. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm just gonna mix them together, make a little nice base for me to put on here. So I always use a beauty blender when I'm doing my foundation. It's my favorite way to apply foundation. I said this in my last video, but when I'm applying foundation, I really like to just go mostly on the perimeter of my face. I don't really focus on my under eyes or on my nose that much just because I put concealer there. So I don't want to look too caked up. And then I just put the smallest amount on my forehead, because I feel like throughout the night, if you're going out or whatever you're doing, you're going to work, I feel like if something creases on your face, it's mostly your forehead. And I feel like people can tell when you're wearing a lot of makeup, mostly when it's on your forehead. So after foundation, I'm gonna use this guy. This is by Milk Cosmetics. It's in the shade Baked. It's a bronzer stick and it's very bronze for my skin tone right now because I'm a little pale. But I'm gonna put it on my cheekbones, around the perimeter of my forehead, and just a teeny tiny bit right here. I always use this brush for blending in any kind of cream contour. It's the Morphe Y6. I will link everything down below. I'm just gonna focus on stamping this into the skin. This is a nice angle. And for the forehead, I just kind of stamp it into the hairline. So for my concealer, I'm going to be using Tarte Shape Tape. This is going to be in the shade Light Medium Honey. I'm going to put 4 little dots on each side and a little stripe on my nose. Same thing, I'm gonna blend this in with a beauty blender. When I am blending in any kind of concealer, I really like to make sure that I'm going in like a straight line up to my hairline. It just looks more crisp. And with the leftover concealer that's on my beauty blender, I'm just gonna close my eyes and cover my eyes with this because my eyes are veiny. Don't know about you guys, but my eyelids are veiny. Don't know why, but they're not going anywhere, so we're gonna conceal that. After that is done, I'm gonna take a very little bit of the Hourglass Veil setting powder and just put it under my eyes I'm not gonna put a lot of setting powder or powder in general on it all because I want my face to look very dewy and glowy. So while that's just baking under my eyes, I'm gonna lightly fill in my brows. I use Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown, but I really just fill in the sparse areas and then brush them up because I don't like personally when my eyebrows look very like orderly. I like when they look a little bit more like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Grungy. Now I'm going to set my brows, which I do every day just so they stay up, with Boy Brow. This is by Glossier. So take a powder brush and just wipe that setting powder off from earlier. Now I'm going to take this Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer and my favorite Tom Ford brush. So this is the only other powder I'm going to use. I'm just going to use it to really bronze up my face. Now for blush, I'm going to take this cream blush. It's also by Glossier. It's called Cloud Paint and it's in the shade Dusk. I really like these. They're super inexpensive and they're really cute packaging, and this is kind of like a mauve-y blush, which I really like, kind of like mauve-y, almost brown tones, especially when I'm doing something really glowy. So I'm just going to take my finger, a little bit of that, and I'm just going to smile and gently press it into my cheeks. Liquid and cream blush can be a little intimidating, but you really just have to focus on blending it into the skin, and I feel like the best way to do that is just by using your fingers, not a brush. I feel like just by using your fingers, it just like blends in so nicely. You just have to take your time and really stamp it on in there. So for my highlight, I'm going to use this guy. This is by Cover FX. They are liquid highlighting drops, and this is in the shade Rose Gold. So I just take a little bit on my hand. Sorry, my hand's covered in foundation and other stuff. I'm just going to take a little bit, put it on my cheeks, and just blend it out. This is actually one of my favorite highlighters. It just looks so dewy and nice. It just looks like you've been like in the sun for a couple of hours, and which I love. I also like to put a little bit on my nose, per usual, and a little bit on my cupid's bow. A little bit goes a long way with this. I always put like what I think is a little amount on my hands, and then I end up having so much left over. It's insane. For my eyes, I'm just gonna be super simple and use this palette. It's by Natasha Denona. I'm gonna use this champagne color right here. Looks like this. I'm literally just going to use my finger, and same thing, just kind of stamp it and blend it up into my upper lid. This eyeshadow doesn't look super glittery. It just looks kind of wet and shimmery, just like that Cover FX highlighter does. So I really like to pair these two together, especially if I'm in a rush and I don't have time to do eyeshadow. I'm gonna curl my lashes. I'm gonna use MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. I'm trying so hard not to make a weird face. Don't make a weird face. And for lipstick, I'm gonna use this guy, but this is also by Glossier. It's in the shade Cake. I love this lipstick. I just like brownie, kind of like mauve-y tones for my skin. And it just feels very, very comfortable. I'm all about comfort with lipstick, and I feel like these Glossier little lip stains. They're very inexpensive and they do the job, and they're super, super comfortable, which is a go. This Morphe setting spray, it's called Continuing Setting Mist. I use this every single day. And that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and learned something. If you do, please make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And please let me know if you want to see any future videos from me regarding makeup or hair. I would love to do them for you. I am going to be posting on here weekly, so please make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.